I'm going to try to cover several things in this video. I do have my list. I'm going to start off with Alexa. Her YouTube channel is Alexa XJ69 or 669, something like that. I want to start off. Well, she said she wants to see older fat guys see their stretch marks and their pot bellies and that type of thing. Check, I guess you're glutton for punishment, as they say. But let me show you what a real welding helmet is supposed to look like. This came with a wire feed machine, by the way. Or you could use this with a stick welder. Your helmet looks more like it's made for brazing. The glass doesn't look like it's dark enough to use with an arc welder. Check, if you're gonna pretend to be a welder, at least get the proper equipment. That's all I can say to you. But anyway, I'm gonna post when it warms up here the next few days. I'm gonna post a video of me in speedos. If you search my YouTube videos, just search me in speedos. I've got three or four that I've made over the past few years. I'll make another one just for you, show you in my pot belly and speedos. Now, some on one of the videos, some chick had said gross. Now, well, gross in English and gross in German have slightly different meanings. Now, gross in German, it means large. So I'm going to think that the person that posted gross was referring to a male body part. She was using the German interpretation of gross. So she's saying that I have a large white male body part, or she would envision that I have a large male body part. And I'll assume it's that way. I know she meant it as an insult, but I didn't take it that way. But anyway, let me get back to that's for Alexa. Let me get back for Laura. Her YouTube channel is Nigella for me. She covered several things in her videos. The main thing she's covered today was that yesterday and today that Valentine, especially if you're alone, if you're by yourself, that Valentine's Day and any other special Christmas, Valentine's Day, any other maybe committed couples would celebrate differently. But she said Valentine's Day is just another day. That's the way I see it. Nothing different about Valentine's Day, other than I missed that big book sale. I've got tons of books and I haven't read most of them, so I don't need to waste money buying books that I probably will never read. Now, if some chick wants to accompany me going to that book sale, I might go. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't. And I don't see any chick wanting to accompany me to a book sale. Let's see. The last thing. No. Another thing for Laura, I should tell about waking up at 3 in the morning. I do that all the time, and I just find something interesting here on YouTube because there's tons of stuff. There's ghost stories, and no, it does not bother me one little bit to listen to spooky ghost stories at night. Not one little bit. I can listen to them, go to sleep. Sometimes I go to sleep. Sometimes I'll you know, listen right through the spooky ghost story. It doesn't bother me. I hear, hang on. Can you hear me, Ghost? Okay, Ghost. We'll amuse each other. Yeah, the ghosts don't bother me. Now, if I ever saw one, there would be an initial shock. I'd get over it real quick. I'd want to be asking the ghosts some questions about, who they were, why they're staying earthbound. That kind of ghosts don't bother me. This ghost here, I'm looking around. I don't see them, but they're here. They hide my stuff. We amuse each other. And Ghost, you're perfectly fine to stay here or leave or whatever you say. I don't care if you stay here. No big deal. But anyway, there's a number of YouTube videos that I'll listen to, channels that another one I listen to is Words Unraveled. Where they talk about different words. How the hang on, let me clear that. Okay, something on Facebook. I'll check later. Yeah, I listen to. There's quite a few YouTube channels that sometimes they put me back to sleep. Sometimes I just sit and listen to them until news comes on at 5, and I'll turn the YouTube off and turn the news on. Waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning is no big deal because I've got a full night's rest and don't worry one little bit about it, whether I go back to sleep or not. That's for Laura. Her YouTube channel is Nigella for me. Last thing I'm going to cover is for Michelle. Her YouTube channel is Miles to Myself. She's down at, the latest video is from the Yuma Territorial Prison. Now, I thought Michelle wanted to do a collab video with me. I'm not going to lose any sleep over if she doesn't, but chick, hey, the door is always open if you want to do a collab video with me. Now, I'm not talking about anything romantic or extracurricular, unless that's what we both decide as two consenting adults. I'm just talking about doing some collab videos. Hey, I think what we could do is do that waterfall hike in Australis. If you not in Australis, the White Tank Mountains. But anyway, if you search my videos, I was up there once about 8-9 months ago. If you search my video, I've got a video from where I was up there with the White Tanks. Love to go up there with somebody. The hike is about a mile back there and a mile to the waterfall and a mile back. That would be something that we would both find interesting. But anyway, the latest Michelle's latest video, she's at the Yuma Territorial Prison. That place is definitely on my bucket list. Now, an individual that was there in a previous lifetime was Dick Sutphin. Now, I hadn't been to his YouTube channel in many years. Now, they did a memorial thing for him. Now, he was born like in the 1930s, so he lived to be an old age. But, they said 1930 something to 2020. So, Dick Sutphin has passed on. His work is still there. But Dick Sutphin, in a couple of his books, had talked about in a previous lifetime, he had been a prisoner for a period of time. I don't think he was there long term, but I think he was there long enough. Well, he had used, he had learned astral projection. He had learned to get out of his body as an escape from the prison. He's got a number of videos, and he did a number of videos where he would not lectures. We would talk about actually providing hypnosis tapes to life-term prisoners in Florence Penitentiary. You just you donate these tapes to them. And he would do experiments, with these prisoners. He said, "Look, you got plenty of time in your hands. Let me just give you." He has a karmic balance thing, I think, is the way he thought of it. But anyway, this is Dick Sutphin, Sutpehen. If you search his name on here on YouTube, you find all these videos that he's posted here on YouTube. Anyway, he would he had practiced astral projection or doing the out of body thing to escape prison. When he was a prisoner in a previous lifetime at Yuma Territorial Prison. They thought that was pretty interesting. And following along similar lines, now one of my personal heroes is Robert Monroe. Now, if you Robert Monroe's got a few videos here on YouTube. If you search him on Wikipedia, there's a full bio on Robert Monroe on Wikipedia. But he died back in the 90s. Back in the 1950s, he was a businessman. He was an electronics guy. He messed around with relaxation techniques. He used he pioneered what they call Hemisync. Or if you know how heterodyne radio works, I'll get to heterodyne radio here in a minute. But Hemisync, now he messed around with different audio techniques. Now I'm putting this for any of the electronic guys that might be watching my videos. Now you can kind of duplicate some of what Robert Monroe was doing. I could take like 2 different audio frequencies. Oh, no, I don't remember exactly what frequencies they used, but there would be 2 or 3 hertz difference. They'd use a audio frequency in one ear and a slightly different audio frequency in the other ear. There was maybe 2 or 3 hertz difference, and the brain would interpret that 2 or 3 hertz difference in a way that would be kind of hard to explain this. You really need to get into what Hemisync is. Now, let me get to what heterodyne, like AM radio, they would use an oscillator it would be 455 kilohertz above the frequency you wanted. So the third frequency would be 455 kilohertz for the it's kind of hard to explain it without getting too technical, but that's how heterodyne worked. You would use 2 frequencies to produce a third frequency, so an AM radio could feed it through the intermediate frequency through the IF stages of the radio, and then they would feed it into the detector. But that's how Hemisync works. Hemisync would use 2 different frequencies, 2 different audio frequencies, to produce a third frequency that would. But anyway, Robert Monroe was messing around with us back in the 1950s. He wrote 3 books. He's given lectures. He started the Monroe Institute in Virginia. The Monroe Institute is still in existence. It's still there. Um, but anyway, he was messing around with relaxation techniques. He got into astral projection, or what he called it out of body experience. But he got into it by accident. He found himself. You can find this lecture. You can find his if you search here on YouTube, Robert Monroe. These all come up. He found himself floating out of his body. First he thought he was dead. Then he found himself hovering above his bed. He just said, "Well, that's my wife down in the bed. Who's in the bed with him?" He said, "Oh, that's me. Am I dead or what?" And then about that time, he slammed back into his body, and he had the doctor check him out, and the doctor said, "No, you're fine." He talked to some friends, and they said, "Well, if you go to India, you can meet up with a guru, and a guru will teach you how to do this." He said, "Or you can just keep messing around with what you're doing." Yes, it's very very cool. But he rewrote 3 books. It's Robert Monroe. If any of the electronic guys here that are monitoring my videos, hey, start messing with the audio frequencies. Now, there's another guy. If you go over to AstroPulse, there's a guy that was selling these goggles. They would use LED lights, kind of. They would be circles. These goggles. These were quite expensive. I'm thinking somebody could probably take just some. They would be synchronized in a way that would induce an out-of-body experience. I'm thinking some electronic guy could probably duplicate these goggles for $20 worth of electronic parts. LEDs and a couple of little ICs, couple. I can't think of how I want to do that. It wouldn't take. I'm trying to think how you might do this. Trying to visualize in my head how you might use some couple of just real cheap electronic parts to just kind of have these LEDs that chase around, in a circle pattern around his goggles. Because I'm pretty sure this is what this is. This guy was selling these goggles for a tremendous amount of money, but I don't think it's more than $20 for the parts of these things. If it's some guys in electronics, go to AstroPulse, and it's like astropulse.com. There's a forum over there. I'm Desert Rat on AstroPulse. I haven't been on AstroPulse in a number of years, and I need to get back over there. I need to post my Desert Rat is not dead. Some of my videos over there on AstroPulse. But go over, some electronic guys, go over to AstroPulse, see the articles on these goggles. How they work, and they posted here on YouTube. If you got a circuit you think will duplicate these, because I don't think it's more than about $20 for the parts of these goggles. Last thing I want to cover. Now there was I saw this video with a guy doing. It's related to what I've just talked about. A guy was doing a ghost hunt. He knew how to astral project. Now he had set an audio. I think it was a computer with audio program on there, so he could pick up EVPs. I don't remember exactly how this came out, but the idea was he would go out of body. He would astral project and actually make his own EVP. Now, when you're out of body, when you're in that astral plane, now we all do this when every single one of us, in deep sleep, we all go out of body. I'm gonna get to that in a couple minutes. But anyway, this guy went out of body. He did the meditation. He went out of body, and he was going to create his own EVP just to prove he could do it. I don't know quite how that worked because I don't remember how that video worked. If anybody's got any ideas on this, let me know. Now, if anybody's ever made this work, let me know. Now, there was a guy over on AstroPulse with like Frank Keppel, something like that. Now, he died, but he had left some EVPs for some of the other forum. He started AstroPulse. So he had left some EVPs that he had, some techniques on going out of body. Just thought that was cool. Let's see, I was going to cover one more thing here, and I forgot what it was. No, I didn't. It didn't get committed to my list. Let's see, I think I've covered everything here. I've got everything. I've covered all kind of straight and metaphysical and all that. Oh yeah, when we go out of body at night, we all do this during sleep. Now there's been a lot of ghost sightings. I've covered this quite a number of times. There'll be a guy sitting, watching TV, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. He can't sleep either. Maybe he's drinking coffee. Maybe he's drinking a beer. Let's place it closer to about 11 o'clock because you don't really want to be drinking beer at 2 o'clock in the morning when you got to go to work at 6 in the morning. Let's say it's 11 o'clock. He's watching TV, finishing his last beer. He sees a kind of a fuzzy image of his wife floating down the hallway, and he goes, "What the hell is this? It's my wife. I know she's asleep in bed." And he sees her ghost floating down the hall, go through the wall, where the bedroom is. He opens the door, finds her fast asleep in the bed. All he was doing was her astral body returning to her physical body. It's kind of cool. Anyway, let's all stay interesting. Let's all stay spooky. Das Leben ist ein Abenteuer. C'est la vie. May you live in interesting times. Ciao. Bye.